Now I want to discuss about one business opportunity, that is starch production. How it will be done, what are the benefits, and all these I will discuss now. My name is Ganesh. Already the same details you can see in my website also. I am the featherer. Since 10 years I have been developing this website, that is www.seeyourneeds.in. You need not remember this also, because in the YouTube description I will give the web link also. By clicking on that, while clicking on that, you can directly go to the web page also if you like it. Likewise, you can see my website also, even though YouTube video should be there, because it is easy to understand in a fundamental way. That is the information I want to provide to you. Now we can go into the subject. What is starch production? Laundries, laundromats, textile companies and printing presses are places where starch is used in commercial quantities. Starch is also used in our homes when ironing our clothes. There is a large market for starch. Define your target market and produce starch production products that are in high demand. Have a detailed project report. Machinery requirement, place and plant equipment, everything before starting should have a complete report, including budget details. Then only you can come into the business. Legal permissions from local authorities. Get legal permissions from concerned authorities before starting. You should have a budget plan for regular maintenance also, including salaries and overheads. Perfect packaging system. Please have a perfect packaging system and have a brand name to go into the market in a comfortable way. And get knowledge from youtube.com and videos also for how to produce starch also. It will give a confidence, it will increase your confidence. Not only my video, likewise so many videos will be there. How to starch production. You can, in search engine, in YouTube search, you can string is starch production. If you want in English or Telugu or Hindi, whatever it may be, you can starch production space in English, in Telugu, in Hindi, likewise. Once if you type it, you will get the details. It will give a confidence in you how to start it and how we have to do. By that your confidence will be increased. Then you can start independently by having a good experience. One thing also I will say, that even though if you are having any type of experience by web page or YouTube video also, you should have a practical experience at least 6 to 1 year, 6 months to 1 year in any starch production unit. Then you will be successful in the practical areas also. Then you will have to start independently. You will have the confidence to start independently also if you want to start. Get knowledge from youtube.com and videos also. For basic knowledge, you can see youtube.com videos also. Those will give fundamental knowledge only. On practical, contact colleagues and familiar industries in detail with books and CDs. In Google also, while putting starch production means all the English details you can see with starch details. Even though I want to give an overall idea about starch production, please have lifetime commitment. For starting these industries, you should have a lifetime commitment. Otherwise, you should get complete details of delivery submission to third party also. That is also you should know before starting the company. Once your company is running in a good condition, definitely you will get goodwill also while submitting others also for your commitment and risk you faced. Once if you are starting it, after getting any other good opportunities and rich opportunities, you need not discontinue this. You can endorse to other persons, that is delivery submission to third party. By that also, while increasing and while establishing everything, only owner will be changed and all things will be the same. So you will get very good goodwill also by that, because starting time so many problems will be there, so many permissions are required and everything will be there. So you will get very good, you will get goodwill also for your company. Then it is easy to the second party to start at an instant also. Search production from plant sources. It takes place in starch plants. Starch in the industry is a part of food processing which is using starch as a starting material for a production of starch derivatives. Hydrolysates, dextrins. At first, raw material for the preparation of starch was wheat. wheat, that WHEAT, wheat. How starch is produced? Starch is manufactured in the green leaves of plants from excess glucose produced during photosynthesis and serves the plant as a reserve food supply. Most commercial starch is made from corn, although wheat, tapioca, and potato starch are also used. What is starch used for? The main function of starch is as way to store energy for plants. Starch is a source of sugar in an animal's diet. Because to explain you, I am also preparing the notes in an easy way to understand. Animals break down starch using enzymes, an enzyme found in salvia and the pancreas that breaks down starch to get energy. Starch can be used to make glue, paste, and new types of biobatteries. What is starch extraction? Starch is a carbohydrate extracted from agricultural raw materials which is widely present in literally thousands of everyday food and non-food applications. The starch molecule consists of a large number of glucose units joined by glucosidic bonds. It is produced by all vegetables as an energy store. How do you make cassava starch? Cassava starch is produced primarily by the wet milling of fresh cassava roots, but in some countries such as Thailand, it is produced from dry cassava chips. Starch is the main constituent of cassava. About 25% of starch may be obtained from mature, good quality tubers. What are the products of starch? Starch is a carbohydrate extracted from agricultural raw materials which is widely present in literally thousands of everyday food and non-food applications. The starch molecule consists of a large number of glucose units joined by glucose bonds. It is produced by all vegetables as an energy store. What foods contain starch? Starchy foods include peas, corn, potatoes, beans, corn, potatoes, beans, pasta, rice, and grains. Starches are a more concentrated source of carbohydrates and calories than fruits, non-starchy vegetables, and dairy. But many of them are excellent sources of fiber, vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients. Do we need starch? Starchy foods are a good source of energy and the main source of a range of nutrients in our diet. As well as starch, they contain fiber, calcium, iron, and B vitamins. Some people think starchy foods are fattening, but gram for gram, they contain fewer than half the calories of fat. Is rice a starch? Rice is the most commonly consumed staple food in the world. It is also high in starch, especially in its uncooked form. For instance, 3.5 ounces for 100 grams of uncooked rice contains 80.5 grams of carb, of which 63% is starch. How do I get local starch? Spray starch has to water and corn starch heated. Mix together 2.5 cups of tap water and 1.5 tablespoon of corn starch in a saucepan. So 2.5 cups of tap water and 1.5 tablespoon of corn starch in a saucepan. Make sure there are no lumps. Bring the mixture to a boil for 1 minute, then cool to room temperature. Fill a glass spray bottle. In cassava, is cassava high in starch? Cassava flour is gluten, grain, and nut free. The plant produces the cassava root, is also known as yucca and manioca. A starchy, a high carbohydrate tuber similar to yam, taro, plantains, and potato. As a tuberous root vegetable, cassava is a gluten, grain, and nut free, as well as vegan, vegetarian, and paleo. Does milk have starch? Milk contains a relatively large amount of fat. Addition of carbohydrate to milk increases its solid content. thereby reducing the amount of fat present in the milk. Starch is one such component that is added to adulterate milk. What foods contain starch and sugar? Starchy foods include bread, pasta, rice, and couscous, potatoes, breakfast cereals, oats, and other grains like rye and barley. Although these starchy foods are often referred to as carbs, this is a little misleading as carbohydrates including both starch and sugars as well as fiber. What fruits have starch? One medium plantain has more than 50 grams of starch. Compare this to one banana, which has approximately 12 grams of starch. A single serving of prunes or figs are 4 grams of starch, and raisins have 2 grams. Do bananas have starch? Bananas are a rich source of carbs, which occur mainly as starch in unripe bananas and sugars in ripe bananas. Green bananas contain up to 80% starch measured in dry weight. During ripening, the starch is converted into sugars and ends up being less than 1% when the banana is fully ripe. Do sweet potatoes have starch? Like white potatoes, sweet potatoes have a high amount of starch, an abundant carbohydrate found in all kinds of plants compared to other vegetables, which means that a portion of sweet potatoes has about triple and the calories of a similar volume of carrots or other vegetables. How do you hydrolyze starch? Gelatinization is achieved by heating starch with water and occurs necessarily and naturally when starchy foods are cooked. Gelatinized starch is readily liquefied by partial hydrolysis with enzymes or acids and saccharified by further acidic or enzymic hydrolysis. What is the highest starch? Beans are one of the highest starch options as they are very good sources of fiber, contain healthy plant-based protein, and are packed with nutrients and antioxidants. This is the information I provided with regarding starch production. You can also start starch production also independently, but try to have 6 months to 1 year of practical experience under any unit or plant starch production. Then you will be successfully run this starch independently and you will get profits also. But one scale should be there. In anywhere, any type of business product, 70% will be the working cost and 30% will be the margin. If we maintain such a scale, it is very sincere and it is very correct and accurate process, then you will be successful in the business. And as well as get licenses, business licenses, and maintain if starch production is increasing, first depend on suppliers. In local suppliers, if you are providing, you will get confidence, then you can start dealers of 1, 2, 3, 4 likewise. Dealers, first dealer, second dealer, third dealer likewise. If business is expanding, you can maintain distributors also. By that you can increase your business and you will be successful. But communications are most important and advertising is also most important. In social media also, always repeat about your starch production details through affiliate marketing, and as well as in Google business also register your business about your starch production and your area, contact number, email, and web page. If web page is not there, Google business web link also you should provide there, then it will be successful to you. In that web page also, in Google business also, please provide your starch production plant photos, videos, and description, what type of starch you are producing, and supporting and supplying, how it is going on, and in how many days you will provide it. And one thing I will say, this all businesses will be successful, but you should have patience. But starch production is not FMCG. FMCG means fast moving consumer goods like rice, paddy, soaps, and detergents likewise. Starch production is commonly 1 month and 2 months. If you wait after 3 months or 6 months, you will get order. continuously these 6 months of production will go in one order. Likewise, you will be successful in this. So be careful and be sincere, and you will be successful in this area also. But I want to bless you with independent entrepreneur for the time being. If you want to do it, suppose you are having any fear of that, you work first 6 months to 1 year in one starch production unit, then you can take wholesale, you can start a retail shop, then it will become a wholesale shop. After wholesale shop, you can start your own plant, then it will be successful to you. That plant production will come to your wholesale shop only. For the time being, you can increase with suppliers, dealers and distributors, then you will expand your business also, then you will be successful. May God bless you and wishing you all the best.